Hello and welcome to week one of my little creative offerings via video. So yeah, if you're here with me today, thank you, and I'm glad you're here. So week one's theme for inspiration is music, and I really love the idea of this one. Although this isn't real time, I'll definitely be doing it at home on the same week you will be. Because if you're anything like me, I definitely use music as a bit of a backdrop to other activities I'm doing. Whether I'm washing the pots or doing a bit of dusting, I've got it on in the background and it's nice, but I'm not really listening to the music actually. It's just sort of there humming away in the background. And I tend to listen to a lot of the same songs over and over again. So this is a really cool week because actually the most basic sort of level of interacting with this week is my offer for you is to really listen to some music. Like sit down, make a cup of tea, hear the words, hear the beat, like see how music makes you feel. Find some new music you enjoy. Branch out into a different genre altogether. We have very few small pleasures at the minute, I think it's safe to say, whilst we're in this lockdown state. And I think music is definitely one of them, and something we all probably take for granted a little bit. Maybe we don't, maybe it's just me. I know I do. So this is an opportunity to really be grateful for music and like let it lift you, let it be a positive thing for you this week, let it be something you can really bloody enjoy. So with that in mind, that is sort of the first layer of interacting with this week, and I've got a bit more for you if you want a bit more creative tasks. I'm coming up with those next. So the first task that I've got, if you want to sort of respond to the theme this week, is to proactively explore a range of genres, not just what you typically listen to. And I want you to do this because I want you to find a piece of music that you find interesting, okay? I'm sorry if you can hear that, that is Prince growling at his own reflection. We'll have to try and ignore it because I don't want to start this video again. Prince, stand down. It is your own reflection. So, listen to some music that's outside of your normal genre and see if something stands out to you. And in the first instance, I just want you to be imagining what could be going on over or under this piece of music, if it was on stage, if it was part of a film or a TV series, or even if you're imagining what the music video might be, what action could be taking place. So for example, if it was a really loud piece of pop, sort of like punk music, I might think, okay, well I can certainly picture a teenager with their door shut and like mum desperately trying to get in the room and they're not having any of it, okay? So the first level of this is just imagine what could be. I might look for something more naturalistic like that, or I might switch to like a comedy exploration of this. So I take the same piece of music, where would that go? Well, actually with comedy we're thinking, where wouldn't that go? So I don't know, what would happen if that was sort of like the background sound to a scene in a library? In what circumstance would that happen? Probably never, but let's play with that. So you don't have to write anything at this point, it's just imagining up some ideas. You can jot them down, you can come back to them later. It's just creating some imagery in your mind, keeping those imagination skills going whilst we find ourselves in an unimaginative state to some degree. So that's the first task I have to offer you. The second one is, if you do like any of your ideas, you might want to put pen to paper and actually write the scene. You might want to actually just write stage directions if you're imagining something that's just action based with no dialogue. So for example, one thing that you can use, because writing scenes, I'm saying write a scene like that's really easy for everyone, and it is and it isn't. It is easy to just give it a go and put pen to paper. It isn't easy if you're going, great, thanks Al, but how do I actually do that? One tool that I like to use in workshops is this idea of a 1 to 10 script. So if you're looking at creating dialogue, you would write a scene where the first line in the scene is 1 word long. The second line is 2 words long. The third line is 3 words long, all the way down to get to the 10th line, which is 10 words long. So for example, it might be character A, hi. Character B, you okay? Character A, I'm okay, thanks. Character B, great, glad to hear. I don't know, you know, that's an example. But obviously you wouldn't want to jump into that with hi, you okay? That's pretty boring, right? So think outside the box. What words can you start with that might get you straight into the action? If I'm thinking about my scene with the teenager locked in the bedroom, then it might be like mum shouting the person's name. That's one word, okay? It doesn't have to alternate either. It could be mum saying one line, then 2 lines, 3 lines, then somebody responds. But it's a way of structuring it so it's not overwhelming. So that's a second offer for you. A third offer is for you to think about the lyrics of a piece and do a similar thing to what we've just been talking about. So rather than just thinking of the music on a whole, you might listen to the lyrics of a piece, and that might inform an idea for a character or a scenario. And the same rules apply. You can put pen to paper, you could write a stream of consciousness, like a monologue if you like. You could write that 1 to 10 scene. You could just come up with who it might be singing that song, aside from the artist if it was a character, and or who they might be singing it to, or who they are combined, and does that create a story? I don't know. Just another way to look at exploring music. And the last thing that I want to offer is, I'm not a dancer really by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I really think it's important that we keep our bodies moving whilst we're in this lockdown, and don't forget that it all connects: mind, body, spirit, everything. So put some music on and have a bit of a dance around like nobody is watching. I mean, maybe there is no one watching because like you're in your bedroom and no one is watching. Absolutely go for it. Maybe you're like me, you're lucky enough to have a conservatory, people can see over. I'm like, do it anyway, you know. It's a time to be playful. It's a time to lean into some joy. So put some music on and move your body and see what happens, and just try and have a little bit of fun. That's my mission for you this week. Have a bit of fun with music, see where it takes you, and just take the time to explore it a bit more than you would usually. I really hope that gives you some stuff to be exploring this week, and yeah, I can't wait to hear what some of you have got up to once this is done, and what you made and what you found. So keep hold of it, because I really want to know once this is over. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you next week for week 2.